Welcome to Guerrilla Investments, where smart money makes smart moves. I am your host, the legendary Al Sifa, where truth, knowledge, and a little bit of education will be dispersed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters around the world, what is going on? People are actually questioning the status of Songbird. Now, y'all know Songbird is my most favorite coin out of the two. Out of the Flare token and the Songbird token, Songbird 100% all the way, boy. Although I'm invested in both of them. Now, Songbird to me is more valuable than Flare when it comes to scarcity. Songbird was built to surpass Flare in price. What, you don't believe me? Well, let me prove you. Let me prove you. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a store of value. Where does it get its value from? It's scarcity. When the airdrops are done with Flare, Flare should be around about 100 billion and total supply. And Songbird is only at 16 billion. 16 billion. That is lower than XRP. XRP max supply 100 billion and circulating supply is 60 billion. That's less than Cardano. Cardano max supply is 45 billion. Its current circulating supply is 34 billion. That's less than Stellar's. Stellar Lumens current circulating supply is 32 billion. Its max supply is 50 billion. And you got Hugo talking about making Flare deflationary? Yeah, bro, look. If he makes Flare deflationary, he's making Songbird deflationary. That is facts. That is facts. So now you're talking about a coin that's going to be deflationary at 16 billion. Well, nobody's really building on Songbird. I really don't care if anybody builds on Songbird. Songbird, to me, is a trader's coin. I'm not in all of these DeFi projects, you know. Not discouraging anyone from getting into a DeFi project. It's not for me. You know, I like DeFi. I like to be involved with projects that are in DeFi. I just don't get off into all the apps of DeFi. I don't believe me trading my coin for another coin in order for me to make coin. Yeah, but nevertheless, I mean, there's no DeFi projects built on Bitcoin, and look what happened to Bitcoin. Exactly. Now, another thing. Well, nobody, Hugo is not talking about Songbird. Well, the reason why Hugo don't talk about Songbird Because every time he goes live on X, formerly known as Twitter, y'all only asking questions about Flair. You don't ask him questions about Songbird. When he gets interviewed, the interviewer only asks questions about Flair. You should blast out the interviewer and say, hey man, why you didn't ask about Songbird? So why should he talk about Songbird? Your favorite YouTubers, you don't blast them out. They only talk about Flair. They don't talk about Songbird. Right there is where the price goes down, and that's why I'm picking up to position myself to be a multi-millionaire. You see, in order to make money, you gotta spend money, but you don't have to spend money unnecessarily. That's why right now Flair is not at its bottom. The price is gonna go lower, but y'all keep buying at these prices. To me, Flair is too high. Flair is too high. And then Songbird, I don't believe Songbird is at its bottom. It's gonna go lower. But y'all keep buying Songbird at these prices. Because to me, Songbird is too high. The price is too high. Bro, I'm the guy that said he was going to get 500,000 Songbird at zero price. And yet you are subscribed and listening to people who don't even talk about Songbird or Flair. What the hell? I'm also that same guy that says I'm gonna try to get 500,000 Flair at zero price. Dude, I should be the man. I don't see nobody doing what I'm doing. And there's a reason why I'm doing it. Not just so it can build up my portfolio and just for me to show you that you can do it, but there's an extra reason. It's called shocks, supply shock, which I'll talk in my next video. Because really, I like what King Karan says, which it was true, that all of these institutions are creating a supply shock. But here's the thing. Why don't the community create the first supply shock, so when the second supply shock, we can get double the price? Y'all letting all of these people come in at a cheap price. It is what it is. But if you don't see value in Songbird, you won't see value in Songbird. Let me say it again. If you don't see value in Songbird right now, you're not going to see value in Songbird later until it's too late when the price start going back up. I'm scooping. I really don't care about all of these dApps. I'm cared about making money. Now, people who love to use those dApps, that's cool. But Songbird, you can use it for whatever you want. I can use Songbird to get me more Flair. I can use Songbird to get me more fiat. I can use Songbird to pay my bills. It's what you want to use it. That's what Songbird's utility. But y'all ain't hearing me though, right? Don't hear me, because I'm gonna get there. Now, one bad call that I made on the price prediction, not one bad trade I ever did, and I showed it. You can do it too. You can get it up, but you gotta stop. You gotta really stop yourself from being ignorant. You need to listen and just check on what people say. Check on what they say. Do your research. you can get up there. Stop waiting for the team to do something for you when you can do something for yourself. Until the next time, my friends. Assalamu alaikum.